So what are the differences between a branch office and a subsidiary private limited company, specifically in relation to registration, taxation and compliance? So let's take a scenario. Uh, I presume that you know what is a branch office. Branch office is an extension of a foreign entity into Singapore. It is not an independent company. So the liabilities of the branch office reach back to the parent entity, and its results and financial statements, everything is combined with its parent entity. It's not an independent legal person the way private limited company is. So in this scenario, let's presume that you have a office and operations in Sydney, and now you want to open operations in Singapore, and you have two options. The company can either open a branch office, and the other option is it can register a subsidiary company in Singapore. So let's compare how the scenario will differ in these two options. So let's first think of registration and related aspects. So here is a table summarizing the differences. So the legal form of a branch is extension of a foreign entity. It is not an independent entity. Whereas subsidiary company is a different legal entity independent from its parent company. When it comes to the liability of the branch reaches to the parent entity. So in case a branch is unable to make the payment, then in that circumstances that payment may need to be made by the parent entity. In case of a subsidiary company, liabilities of subsidiary companies are independent and remain limited to the subsidiary company only. In case the subsidiary is unable to pay, then there is no obligation on parent entity to make the payment. Now coming to the point of share capital, since branch is not an independent entity, there is no separate share capital. When we register a foreign entity in Singapore as a branch, parent company's share capital details are entered into the ACRA system for registration purpose. Subsidiary company, because it is a separate company, it will have its own share capital. When it comes to the directors, there are no separate directors for the branch. Parent company's directors' details are entered while registering the branch. In case of a subsidiary company, directors can be separate from that of a parent company directors. Regarding the requirement to have a resident director or agent, in both these cases, one local resident agent or director is required. When it comes to the name of these respective entities, the name of the branch must be same as parent company, with the word Singapore branch added at the end. Whereas a subsidiary company can have a different name from the parent entity. Regarding the Memorandum and Articles of Association, since branch is not an independent entity, parent company's Memorandum and Articles of Association is lodged at the time of registration. Whereas in case of subsidiary company, it will have its own separate constitution. And coming to the last point on this slide, when it comes to the business scope, because branch is an extension of foreign entity, it must have same business objective as parent entity. Whereas subsidiary can have a different business objective than that of a parent company. Now coming to the taxation and compliances, there are few points. When it comes to corporate tax, branch is taxed as a non-resident entity and it will not get any local tax benefits which are available for local entities only. Subsidiary will be considered as resident in Singapore and it will be taxed at local tax rates, and the tax benefits are also available. Regarding accounting year, branch must follow the parent company accounting year, whereas subsidiary company accounting year can be different from that of a parent entity. Audit is always compulsory for a branch, whereas for subsidiary company it may be compulsory or it may not be compulsory depending upon the size of the subsidiary company and that of a group. Regarding the filing of accounts of parent entity is compulsory for branch. So when branch results are filed with ACRA, you also need to file parent entity results along with it. Whereas for subsidiary company, filing of parent entity results in Singapore is not required. If there are any changes in parent company constitution, list of directors or any alteration to share capital of the parent entity, then it must be notified to ACRA and these details must be lodged for the branch as a notification of change. Whereas in case of a subsidiary company, parent company changes need not be notified to ACRA. So in summary, branch office has a higher compliance requirement and less flexibility in terms of compliance and operations compared to that of a subsidiary company. So unless you have specific reasons to choose branch office, I guess your option will be to choose and go for a subsidiary company.
Thank you for watching this video. This video was brought to you by Epica Consulting Singapore. Subscribe to our channel today to get notified when new videos are posted.